it. And then the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? The 808. The 808 exists in the lowest chakra of your body. The majority of content that's related to the 808 is killer or sexual content. The original 808s was even off pitch. So that meant it's an actual sound in the track that you don't realize is there that is up your entire frequency. Right. And now, today, every time I hear a car come out, it's 808. But if you think about African music and hip hop and what we was breakdancing to, it was light.
The percussion.
It was upbeat. It was the drums.
What's the signature of trap music? Beats. Drum beats. Them 808s. Produce low frequency sound. Its signature is low frequency sound in that 808 drum beat. The low frequency drum beat. And remember, how do shamans create altered state of consciousness? In indigenous cultures, it's the drum beat. The drum is the tool to drive one into altered states of consciousness. So the 808 machine, the signature of hip hop,
Right.
the drum beat, that most of the 808 beats are in low frequency. Trap music is 808, it resurrected 808 beats. Because now the words are the command message.
Right.
The hypnotic command
Moving
message.
back towards the weaponization of hip hop and music overall, are there certain frequencies in music that can promote health and healing?
Absolutely.
And what are those frequencies?
So, I often mention, when I mention testosterone, I mention serotonin. And I mention these two as the two biochemical sources of a man's drive for power. But serotonin, the brain chemical serotonin, is necessary for mental health for men and women. One reason women suffer from depression in numbers that men are. One of the reasons is the disparity in brain serotonin. Serotonin promotes mental health. 10 hertz. So see, God can use Beats by Dre as well as Satan can. So say this song I'm grooving to, 230 hertz is beamed into my right headphone, 220 is beamed into my left. That my brain was synchronized to a phantom 10 hertz. And 10 hertz is precisely the frequency that stimulates the production of serotonin. The reason 4 hertz is the specific fear frequency, because 4 hertz stimulates serotonin's opposite, noradrenaline. Testosterone, the opposite of testosterone really is an estrogen. It's cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone that neutralizes the effect of testosterone. The opposite of serotonin is noradrenaline. 10 hertz is the magic frequency to stimulate the production of serotonin. The devil knows that. The devil knows how to stimulate good, healthy biochemistry with music. He also knows that 4 hertz stimulates the production of noradrenaline. And what's the difference between the two? It's important. Serotonin is, one of the functions of serotonin is as a chemical lid on our passions. With a healthy dose or amount of brain serotonin, we are masters of our impulses rather than slaves of our impulses. We can control our passions, our appetites. Serotonin is necessary to put the brakes on our appetites. Noradrenaline, if serotonin puts the brakes on our appetites. Noradrenaline pushes the accelerator. So with high noradrenaline, it puts the battery in all of our impulses, all of our passions. So low serotonin, high noradrenaline, we are an impulsive. I am an impulsive person. I'm unable to control my passions, and I act on all of my impulses.
Right.
4 hertz, and so we are a very impulsive community. The community that is being low frequency vibrations from our music, the community that has been made an ecology of fear. Why an ecology of fear? Because most of us walk around not knowing what phantom 4 hertz in our brain. And so our noradrenaline is stimulated and it cuts off our serotonin. They can make sure they can stimulate in us our serotonin by producing in us phantom 10 hertz frequencies, but our reality is proof that they have decided to stimulate in us or produce in us a phantom 4 hertz frequency, because every black community or every hood from one end of America to the other is an ecology of fear. The urban area, the suburbs, they are ecologies of peace and flowers and health.
Right.
The urban area is an ecology of fear and stress. It's not an accident. It's by design. It's environmental terrorism. I would like to cite 2 articles that contextualize I think your question in this discussion. It speaks right to your question. The first is from Popular Science. Hip-hop bass lines could power implantable medical devices. This 2012 Popular Science article documents the success of University of Purdue scientists in creating a medical device that is not powered by a battery. It's implanted in the body, and that medical device is powered by the bass line of hip-hop music. These doctors successfully powered a medical device with the vibration, the acoustic frequency emanating from the beat of hip-hop music. Now, they tried various music genres to power that medical device. It was hip-hop with its bass line that most effectively powered the device and healed, participated in the healing process of the body. What does that say? A number of things. This is an example of the divine power of music. Music is divine. This is an example of the divine power of hip hop. God comes to heal his people. God is a healer. The healing power of hip hop in particular. And it's important that they tested various genres of music, but nothing was effective in the empowering a batteryless medical devices like the rhythmic bass of hip hop. So hip hop by nature is divine. But when the devil gets his hands on it, when the devil takes that which is created divine and weaponizes it for his purposes. So I want to pivot it. So that's hip hop.
Right.
Wow. See, people don't want to believe that white people and black people are different. Our music is the greatest illustration on a root level of the difference between black people and white people. So here is the Atlantic. Study. Distortion in rock music brings out the animal in us. These scientists studied rock music, heavy metal, crusty punk, and what they call the harsh dissonant music. Listen to what they say. New research suggested that dissonant rock music arouses listeners because it sounds similar to the sound made by animals in distress. Listen to this. This is what the research indicated. Rock music's sound, its notes are dissonant, discordant, versus harmonious notes that synchronize together melodically. Rock music is characterized by dissonant notes, notes that are jarring and unharmonious. These sounds of rock music, they are similar to the sound of an animal dying. Now, with a normal human being.
And it says this in.
Yes, ma'am. And in a normal human being, the sound of death is alarming, it's jarring, it provokes sympathy. But in the listeners of rock music, the sound of animals in distress that characterizes rock music, this arouses white people. It gets them crunk, it gets them lit. How is it that death gets white people, the sound of death gets white people lit? It arouses them, it turns them on. And this is why rock music could be weaponized against white youth when the government was mad that they were rising up against the war in Vietnam. They weaponized rock music against white kids before they weaponized hip hop against black youth. They weaponized rock music. They know how to manipulate, how to speak to the soul of white people with rock music, because it brings out the animal in white people. So while rock arouses the animal in white people, hip hop arouses the divine in black people. And so if you want to control black divinity, control hip hop.